Well, you know what? You give an amateur a job to do, and you know what will happen. He'll forget to put any music on the intro video. Good afternoon, and welcome to the West Ham Network. No, not Anton for the presser today. It's me. Anton is a little bit busy, so I said I'll take over. Should have checked all the equipment, shouldn't I? Because there's no sound on the video. But no worry, that's nothing. Going to be a quick presser today because I'm taking half an hour off from work. I'm taking a late lunch to do it, so hopefully we'll bring you a bit of updated news on West Ham United and the game against Arsenal tomorrow. Hopefully it goes ahead. Hopefully there's no issues with COVID, and the game will go ahead as planned. So let's talk a little bit about Moyes first of all. He was congratulated on his 600. It will be his 600 game managing the Premier League, and he replied by saying, "First of all, thanks. I didn't know that today. It just shows you're doing a far better job than me, than my PR people here. It's a big thing, 600 games in the Premier League. It's a fair achievement, and the names are well known and successful as managers. So I hope I can continue trying to be a successful at whatever level we're at. And aren't we happy to actually have him, second time round? David Moyes managing 600 Premier League games is no mean feat these days when managers come and go pretty quickly. 1 minute they're here, next minute they're gone. So for a manager like him to be in that position is superb. He follows in the likes of some great managers in the Premier League. Alex Ferguson being the one that he was meant to succeed. Well, he did succeed, but not. I think he wasn't given enough time at Man U, but I don't care because he's now our manager. So well done to him. 600 games in charge in the Premier League is an absolute massive achievement. He was asked about Arsenal and thoughts on Mikel Arteta because, as we all know, Aubameyang has been dropped from being captain of Arsenal because apparently, and I was made aware of this in last night's show in the West Ham Weekly, that he went off and got a tattoo done instead of going training. I mean, good grief. Um, and and Moyes replied, excuse me one sec. That'll have to wait. Moyes replied, "It's not huge news for us here at West Ham. Managers have to make decisions, and for whatever reason, Mikel Arteta, excuse me one second, later. It's not huge news for us here at West Ham. Managers have to make decisions, and for whatever reason, Mikel Arteta's made the decision to drop Aubameyang from being captain of Arsenal." He then went on to say about us and the captain that we have. The captain we've got here, Mark Noble, has been great for the club. We talk a lot about things as at the club and on the field, and he's doing a great job of preparing Declan for being a future captain. Now, does that sound like a player that might leave West Ham United anytime soon? Doesn't sound like it to me. So it's fantastic. He's basically saying, look at our role model here. Look at the way Mark Noble has been a role model captain, not only for West Ham United, but also, in football per se, the way he actually manages himself on and off the pitch. Look at how proud he was when he fielded, helped to field nearly half a dozen youngsters in the starting lineup against Zagreb last week. You can see the pride in the man's face, and that is a proper captain, a captain that leads by example. Now, I'm not, I don't think Moyes gives a damn about Aubameyang or what goes on in other clubs, but he's basically saying this is what we do. This is how we do things here at West Ham. We've got a captain that leads by example. He's not only doing that, he's actually setting the groundwork, for how to be a captain for Declan. We know Declan's captain on the pitch at the moment, but when Mark Noble retires at the end of this season, Declan takes over. So that's absolutely fantastic. He went on to talk about Arsenal a bit more. It's huge. We're in a strong position, and we'll try to stay there as long as we can. When he was asked about our status in the league, we're fourth in the league at the moment. A point or a win against Arsenal on Wednesday night will not only keep us there, will give us that little bit of an edge as well. Take us a little bit further away from Arsenal. We're not looking back. We're trying to see if we can catch teams above us. That's what he's looking at. He's not worrying about what's going on behind him. He's more worried about what's above him in terms of catching up with Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City. An absolutely right attitude to have as well. But we're well aware of the strength of the teams above us there. There'll be different times in the seasons when your form is better than others, but hopefully we'll come out of the Christmas period in good shape. I'm going to come back to that in a minute because it's a tough ask at the moment. 9 games that we already know that we were having in December, and it's not been easy for the lads, especially coming back after we were on a great run, weren't we, up to international break? And international breaks come at the worst time for some teams, and it couldn't have come at the worst time for us. We were on a roll. But the fact that we're still fourth in the league, third of the way through the season, speaks an awful lot for the resilience of the teams. And look, people are scrutinising West Ham and our performances at the moment, but you've also got to look at other teams. They're not doing good enough to overtake us. So at the moment, we're holding our own. I don't know why people don't talk about Mikel winning a couple of trophies. I found it hard to win trophies, so I think he has got off to a good start. He's giving praise to Mikel Arteta. He has got a good team and they've brought some good young players. I did not agree with a lot of the criticism at Arsenal, and I think Mikel has started his career really well with an FA Cup and a Charity Shield. So I think he started well. He's praising Arteta. Arteta's done well. It's interesting in football, isn't it, that you expect immediate sort of success. A new manager comes in and they immediately want you to pick up from where the last manager left off. Look how David Moyes has done it with West Ham. He's had to stabilise us. He's had to have us stop being relegation fodder or near damn it relegation fodder. And he's praising Arteta. Arteta's got he's got a trophy under his belt, something that David Moyes, I'm sure, we're going to get this season. So he's giving praise to Arsenal, but he's also making people aware. By the way, we're still work in progress. We're doing really well to be where we're at, and we're going to fight hard and we're going to fight damn hard to stay where we're at. So that's really, really good of Moyes. Moyes went on to talk about our team news. I think we've got people who've got injuries, hoping that Crezy's got a chance, and we're pushing hard for him to be ready for the game. At the moment, we have no COVID in the camp, but we don't feel that we're any different to any other football club in that it could happen to us. It's a real tough shift to play 3 games in 6 days. It's not easy. Tell me about it. It is a tough shift, and especially when we have a small squad as well. It makes it even harder. Our team is creaking a little bit, but we're making do. We're making do. And let's hope Creswell's back. It's 50-50 at the moment. And clearly the gaffer's not given anything away to sort of indicate whether he's going to be back or not. I think he'll be back, but if he's not back for the game against Arsenal, I'm sure he'll be back for the game against Norwich. But we got backup. Masuaku did really well in the game against Burnley at the weekend. He put in a performance that I don't think many of us thought he had it in him in terms of defensive duties. He took his defensive duties well, but having Creswell back does give us a different dimension. Absolutely. Moyes went on to say, overall, we're trying to prepare our players and do everything correct in and around the football club. We're hoping that we can keep everyone fit and healthy. As I said before, if I was a fan, I would want to sit next to someone who is double vaccinated. He's talking about, maybe making sure you protect yourselves. I mean, you've all got your views on it. We're not going to get political about it. Some people are for the vaccine, some people are not. But what Moyes is saying is he's trying to keep his players fit, healthy, making sure they do the right things, making sure that they socially distance when they need to, in order to be available for games coming up. Let's hope that this COVID thing doesn't spread. It's spreading at the moment. Let's hope it doesn't impact us where we end up having to miss out on watching games again. It was awful, wasn't it, before? But fingers crossed, everything is going well at the moment. Moyes went on to talk about Antonio. Now, look, he's been under scrutiny, Antonio. He hasn't scored for a dozen games or so. But Moyes, you can tell from this that he's definitely going to start the player against Arsenal on Wednesday night. He's been amazing for us since we put him as centre forward. He's been unbelievable. And with the run of goals he was on, when you become a number 9, you go through phases when you can't score. And the secret is to keep going. When his form's good, I think the team's playing much better. The team plays much better. His all-round form is really important to how we play. But I've seen signs it's just beginning to click a little with him again. So hopefully we're not too far away. He's got faith in Antonio. We've said it many, many times before. If Antonio's fit, Antonio plays. That's as far as David Moyes is concerned, that's his mantra. What we think as fans, very, very different. But Moyes, it's evident he has faith in the player, and it's some people say that's great for a manager, to have that faith in a player regardless, and other people say, well, that just shows he kind of is a bit of a stickler, doesn't change his tactics, etc. Look, we're fans. How do we know? We see things 90 minutes on the pitch. David Moyes sees the players off the pitch, on the pitch, training, etc., etc. He talks to them on a regular basis. Not only does he look at how fit they are physically, but it's what's going on up here as well. And if Moyes thinks that maybe Antonio just isn't clicking here, then that's maybe where he'll decide to take him out the firing line. But he's got faith in him, and that means we're going to have faith in Antonio as well. For Antonio, you can see, yeah, he's talking about the way Antonio plays. He makes the whole team play better, and we saw that in the game against Chelsea in the second half when Antonio clicked, and all of a sudden the whole team were doing well. That's what we need. But some people will say, and I've said it myself, maybe Antonio can do that coming off the bench, or maybe play him for the first hour, and if it ain't working out, then change it around. What Moyes tends to do, he tends to stick with him. Now, I said a few weeks back, I'm beginning to think Antonio's playing the true striker role where he doesn't have to be in the game for a whole game. He only has to have one chance or make one chance or whatever, and we get something out of it. That can be frustrating for us as fans, but like I said, we don't see Antonio on a day-to-day basis as Moyes does. And then finally, West Ham status. Mindset change has been a big part of the club. We wanted to try and be organised against teams who are good with the ball and used to winning. We're still in the process of trying to build a squad and a team that can be competitive. Really, he's talking about us. We're talking. There's a lot of chat going on about us. Oh, we're going to slip away from fourth place, etc., etc. Moyes is being realistic. He's still saying we're still in progress of building a team here. We're not quite there yet, and that's where we want to get to. At the moment, we're a little bit ahead of schedule. Basically, is saying being in fourth place at this moment in time and finishing sixth last season is way ahead of what he thought we were going to achieve. So he's kind of set the bar high. But we're fans, we're greedy, aren't we? We want more and more. At the moment, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but we're now here. Now we're here. We're not going to give it up. So we're going to fight, But what he's saying is, look, people, it's work in progress. We're still building a squad here. The fact that we're fourth is absolutely fantastic. We're not going to give that up lightly, but we've got to be prepared just in case, if we slip away, it's not for the want of trying. We're going to keep pushing and have to say that there's been a lot of good things the players have done. There are other teams coming to us now who are making it hard for us to score against us. We saw that against Burnley. That's part of becoming a big team. We're thinking like a big team. Other teams will try hard to stop you. It's paramount that everybody understands exactly where the boundaries are that have been set in place. Most footballers have ideas of what the rules entail. There are a lot of very similar things at football clubs. Football clubs aren't any different. We have to have rules and regulations and the levels of standards. And that's what looks like has happened at Arsenal in the last few days. So he's gone back to talking about Arsenal setting standards. If players fall foul of those standards, they'll get penalised for them. And Moyes has been quite clear. Moyes is he sets the rules at West Ham. We've seen it happen, and it's gone across the board, not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well. The way we're managing the under-23s, the academy squad, the way he's managed to bring in the scouting system, the way he's managed to say, it's up to me who I bring in transfers. The whole precedent has been set, and it's a David Moyes mindset, which some people, it's worked well for us so far, hasn't it? And it's good. It's good to see a manager that sets standards. Sets the standards for the club and how he wants the club to be run. So that's the presser. Sorry, it's a bit haphazard because I was called in at the last minute. Let's see who's in the chat and say hello to you all. Gaza, how are you, mate? I'm very well, and I hope you're well. Good afternoon, Grant. I hope you're well, mate. Hello, Martin. How are you? Adam, I hope you're well. I'm good, mate. Thank you for joining us in this late lunch. Richard, good afternoon to you. Legend, not quite. West Ham, Isle of Man. Sorry. Afternoon to you, mate. Thank you for joining. Robin. Hi, Stel. Hope you're well. What do you think about tomorrow? Draw? Do you know what? Do you know what? These are the sorts of games that we're going to probably go out there and put in a really decent performance. And I think we kind of, it's about time we beat Arsenal. To be honest with you, I think let them off lightly in a way in the last few games. I think a couple of seasons back, I think we were still under Pellegrini. I could be wrong, or it might have been one of the early games from Moyes. I can't remember, where they were poor and they beat us at home, and it was so depressing because they weren't a very good team. And then, of course, we had the 3-3, where we were 3-1 up, and we should have like walked away with 3 points, and we let them back in it again. And no, that good teams do that. Good teams do that. Tomorrow, I wouldn't be disappointed with a draw, but I really want to go out there and nick all 3 points. To be honest with you, Chris, hello, mate. How are you? I don't see Moyes having such a problem. He benches anyone at any time. That's why even GSB have been quite quiet lately. Has set rules for them too. Exactly. Yeah, what I just said. Absolutely correct. He set the standards at the club now. These are the standards. These are the bar that we've all got to achieve. Every player. And look at Mark Noble. We know his legs have gone, but he's a model professional. And I mean, for anyone to learn of him, Declan learning off Mark Noble is in club. Afternoon to you, Spencer. I hope you're well. Gaza, we have played really well there in the last 3 games and have come away with nothing. Hope that changes. That's what I'm thinking, mate. Adam, hello, Gaza. I hope everyone's well. Everyone, hello, saying hello to everyone. I don't know how Everton beat Arsenal, so West Ham can. Exactly. It's down to us, isn't it? We've got to keep them quiet and nick something. Kaiser should have kept her there, mate. Said it, but there you go. That's life. Mark, hello, mate. It's been a while. Cyprus is raining and thunderstorms just to cheer you up. Oh, well, never mind. I bet it's still warm though. I would love to still be there rather than here, mate. Adam, Haller was never a Moyes player. He didn't want to run and walked about like he didn't care. That's why fans got on his back. And it's weird. It's absolutely weird. He's doing it though. Not only doing it in the in the Dutch league, but he's also doing it in the Champions League. There you go. Harley, hello, mate. I agree, but his outputs for the minutes given and systems he didn't fit was solid. Harley, Yusuf and Nesri would be nice in our system, yeah, but we kind of gone for him and he's turned us down. And I don't know about players who have turned us down already. I'm not so sure that I'd really want to go back in for them again. But again, up to Moyes. Adam dad, Stel Power. Good afternoon to you, mate. Adam, yeah, I agree, but I never liked a player who looked lazy. But you know what? If they're doing the business, but there you go. But we as West Ham fans want a graft. We love a grafter, don't we? We love a grafter. Jonathan, is tomorrow still happening? I thought I read somewhere that Arsenal are also known to have COVID issues. I think they've got a couple, but not enough to call the game off at this present moment in time. Steve, hello, mate. Hi, Stel. I see Arsenal running scared, trying to get the game called off. Positive test, backroom staff. Come on, actually, we were 3-0 up last time. We're 3-0 up, not 3-1. There you go. Good afternoon, Cyber. I hope you're well. WHU, West Ham seem to play better when and win against bigger teams. I'm confident we will beat Arsenal. We're going to go. We've got to go in there confident tomorrow, haven't we? Cyber, did you see the Millwall guy comment about Isla? A wonderful comment. I didn't, but that's fantastic. Any transfers yet? Well, Cyber, you got to watch Monday Night Show, mate. Got a whole load of transfer stories in there, mate. You'll have to watch that. Kaiser, I doubt we'll go in for Lingard now, seeing as he turned Moyes down in the summer. Well, that's a good point. But apparently he didn't turn Moyes down. Apparently, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said to Moyes, "We've got plans for him, and he's part of my plans," and that's kind of where it was left. Doctor, congrats on 10. Thank you very much. Yeah, we hit 10,000, and Anton won that bet. I thought we wouldn't do it until the new year. Still, we'll be going to the Blackstock pub in Finsbury. I don't know where that is, but might bump into you. Harley, we win against teams who give us space. We're not the best at pulling compact teams out of position. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Gaza, is Creswell back tomorrow? Well, Moyes has said, that he's keeping his cards close to his chest, and he said he's hoping that a few players come back from injury, and that clearly means Creswell. That's it, people. Really short and sweet. Sorry to be, I've got to get back to work. Thank you all for watching. We'll be on later on for the preview. I don't know what time. Normally about 9 o'clock. We've probably got an Arsenal fan that will come in to give an opposition's view as well. And so do join us for that at 9 o'clock this evening to the preview of the West Ham Arsenal West Ham game. Thank you all very much. Short and sweet. Have a great afternoon and chat to you soon.